cheated on me with my best friend and wants me to be in a throuple. That's a no from me. This story came October 2nd, 2020. All right, let me start out by saying 2020 sucks. I feel like we can all relate to that. My husband lost his job in April and has been home while I have been working extra shifts, making $12 an hour to keep us from going broke. Yes, I have been out of the house more than at home, and yes, I haven't been super active in bed because I am really exhausted all the time from working 70 hours a week, standing on my feet all 70 hours. I thought he would appreciate that I am working so we would have things like food and a place to live. Instead, he and my best friend have been screwing each other while I have been at work. She lost her job too. They've always gotten along with each other, and I've never felt jealous or threatened that they have hung out together, just the two of them over the years. That's interesting. I'm curious, if you're married, does your partner hang out with your best friend one-on-one, like without you there? One very drunk night in 2009, she and I made out, but it was a one-time thing and I didn't enjoy it. I thought I could trust them and that they were just friends. Obviously, I'm an idiot. Enough backstory. I came home tonight and I found them snuggling on the couch watching TV, like in a spooning position, but it was very obvious that it was intimate. They didn't panic, but she just sat up, then he sat up. At this point, I felt my stomach turn into a rock and I felt dizzy. No word of a lie, my body just went into some kind of shock. I just walked to the bathroom and I closed the door and sat on the toilet. I just started crying, and after I have no idea how long, I threw up. I heard them whisper talking but couldn't make out what they were saying, but then they knocked on the bathroom door and asked if I was okay, and I told them obviously not. They didn't backpedal or deny anything. They didn't admit to screwing then, but my best friend said we should all probably talk about what has been going on. I stayed in the bathroom and we talked through the door. That's when my husband said, okay, yes, we didn't want you to find out like this, but we have been in a relationship since July. Oh, so they're not just screwing each other, they're dating each other. It would become a true crime documentary so fast, I swear. Thank God this isn't happening to me. He said some more things, but honestly, I can't remember them because my ears were just kind of ringing. And I just kept thinking about his relationship. This wasn't a fling or a one-night stand. I could maybe forgive that, but a real relationship? Isn't marriage supposed to mean just he and I in a relationship? So he says whatever, and then my best friend says, so what do you think? I missed everything he said, obviously, so I told her that, and she said, so you missed the part about all three of us living together? After me asking, what? Like, what the... My husband clarified that she would stay on the couch, but that they would keep each other company during the day, and I could be with her too, if I wanted to. I know she needs to move out of her place because no job equals no rent payment. I had told her in the past that she could always crash at my place, but I never meant like this. How could she not know that? Is my best friend an idiot? Am I an idiot? I need advice. Yes, tell me that I'm an idiot for trusting them and having bad judgment and not doing my wifely duties. I own all of those things. I just need help figuring out the next steps. I don't want to be in a throuple, and I don't even want to look at either of them. It's 3:30 a.m. and I can't sleep, and I don't know what to do. I feel like I've been used. I don't even know if I leave, if I would still have to pay for my husband's expenses because he's not working, which would mean that I'm paying for them to have a relationship, which idiot me has been doing since July, and I really hate my life right now. I didn't even think about that. You are the only one working, which means while you were at work, she was over in your house that you're paying for and you're fun. How do you not turn bitter after something like that? Oh, that would be so hard. Let's check out and see what Reddit has been saying, what kind of advice they're giving, because they're usually brutally honest. Someone commented and said, sincerely from the bottom of my being, leave his broke ass with that broke you know, the B word. How stupid can he be cheating on the sole person who your entire lifestyle is dependent on? Let them rot. It's a blessing in disguise that you found out their true characters. I mean, yeah. At this point, what other option do you have but to look at it as a blessing in disguise? That ain't your friend, and that's not your husband. Not the husband you deserve anyway. Next comment. You owe him nothing financially. He broke your vows. Just leave. You're hardworking. You'll make ends meet until you find someone worthy of you. And screw your best friend. My advice would be to cut them both out of your life. They're not right upstairs to come at you randomly asking for a throuple. Like, that's so insane. Hey, so I've been in a relationship with your husband. Like, do you want to join our relationship? You crushed my relationship, my marriage. Like, this is insane. OP wrote back to this and said, he's literally the only person I ever dated. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Yeah, I want nothing to do with them. Please stop calling yourself stupid. They're stupid. These were stupid decisions on their part. You were married and trusted your husband and best friend. That doesn't make you stupid, girl. Next comment, you're not stupid. Thank you. You're a smart, hardworking person who got taken advantage of by the people you trusted. Get a divorce lawyer and don't tell him anything until you're all set. Next comment, text him about it tomorrow when you're at work. Don't be obvious, but get him to say that he was cheating on you. Maybe not those words, but maybe just have him agree to the sentiment in writing. You should get a divorce. This is unacceptable, and you're not wrong to feel betrayed. You should take tomorrow off. I know it's a last minute thing, but just do it. Take tomorrow off and spend the time for you. Go somewhere that makes you happy. You can do this. Find a divorce lawyer and call them. Text your husband and get him to incriminate himself. It might be help with the legal stuff. Call your family, reach out to friends, siblings, parents, whoever. It is okay to reach out for help. OP responded to that and said, I wish I could take tomorrow off, but the only reason my manager is allowing me to have a positive COVID test, or in his exact words, are you in the hospital dying? I really wish it would, especially because there's no way I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm going to have to find a cheap lawyer. We are barely getting by as it is, but yes, I need to get out of this place. I feel awful. Ugh. And then to be in COVID during all of this. Ugh. Next comment. Nothing is more expensive than not having a lawyer. Even though you'll have to stretch your finances, you will end up winning in the end. I feel like that was some pretty solid advice from Reddit. Then she edited her post the next day. I just got home from work and I am crying, but this is a good cry. It's been a really awful year and yesterday was brutal, but logging on to this has just been the most special thing. So thank you. I don't feel alone like I did last night when I posted. I still have no idea the best way to leave this situation, but I'm definitely not signing up for a throuple, which I made crystal clear to my husband at 4 a.m. Also, my manager pulled me aside today and asked me if everything was okay because I obviously didn't sleep and looked super gross, I think from all the throwing up and not eating. I just told him what happened because I couldn't think of a lie on the spot. He took me to his office and searched our legal bar and legal help and divorce mediation and looked me dead in the eyes and said, if I tell anyone at work, he will deny it. So then I broke down sobbing in his office, which was not really my finest moment. It turns out he has a soul and he gave me Monday off, in his words, to get yourself a lawyer, but keep it quiet from your husband. So on Monday, my husband will think I'm at work, but I will be seeing what my next step should be from a legal perspective. Speaking of my husband, I asked him to give me some space for the next few days and he is on the couch. My best friend texted me a few times today, but I have just left her on red. Block her. Well, if you want evidence, maybe don't block her number, but after that, bye. Like, don't even look at me ever again. Don't lay your eyes on me. We have some updates, but we're gonna hydrate first. You know the drill. Let me know what's in your cup, but I will encourage some water. Cheers. Okay, there's a mess, but ignore it. I went to Warner Brothers invited me to a really cool event last night for the Wuthering Heights movie that came out. And they gave us a really cool goodie bag and the event was really cool. Look what we got, okay? We got the book. Then when we were there, they had these like stone coasters where they engraved our initials into it. How cool is this? Then They also had these little glasses where you got to engrave a saying from the movie. I picked Drive Me Mad because it sounded a little bit sassy. And then I was with my friend Jen, so I wanted to do J plus J as like a little memory of our girls' night. I brought her as my guest. And then they gave us a wooden paddle hairbrush, which is so cool. Cookie. These sugar cookies are not my thing. I'm like a chocolate cookie gal, but Matt will love this. He will eat that in a second. And then my personal favorite, some press-on nails. They're Valentine's Day kind of, like they just got like a red French tip. Is this not like the coolest goodie bag ever? And this like little, I can't open it with one hand, but a fan. Isn't this so cool? It was so fun. Sorry, my life and my house is a mess. They also gave us this bag. Oh, yeah, well, okay. I'm not well. It's been a week, very busy. Anyways, they gave us this cool bag also. All right, real talk, just for fun. If hypothetically this happened to you, what are you actually doing in this situation? Like, what do you possibly do? I guess besides what she's doing, lawyer up, divorce, block, Control, Alt, delete them from your life, basically. Let me tell you, that would just test my patience so much. Anyways, not my problem, selfishly. All right, so the next update came a month later, November 2nd, 2020. I figured for my update, I would answer the major questions I have received. If I leave out one of your burning questions, I'll answer that too. You know what? I love when they do this. They just answer a bunch of very direct questions because then we just get all the info that we want and not all the fluff, you know? So thank you for doing this. Someone commented and asked, are you getting divorced? OP wrote, yes, 1,000 times yes. He cheated on me and tried to manipulate me, and I did not sign up to be married to more than one person. I don't want that for myself. People in the poly lifestyle very kindly messaged me and told me that what my husband and best friend did was not how it's done in the poly community. Poly is done out of love and trust and communication. None of those three things happened here, so yes to divorce. Next question, did you meet with a lawyer? Yes, and I'm really glad that I did, and I learned a lot. It turns out that the way the divorce works here, where I'm from, it's a process that you have to follow, and it can take about a year to finish if it's uncontested, longer if the spouse objects. Right now, after some paperwork, there's a lot of paperwork, I'm separated, which actually happened really quickly. It turns out being working poor helped a lot with this. Having no assets to split up made things much easier, and since before COVID, my husband and I basically made the same amount of money, and we don't have kids or pets, it's even easier. But my actual divorce is going to take some time and lots more paperwork. My husband is not contesting the divorce. Next question, did you get your husband admitting to cheating on text or voice? My lawyer said it doesn't matter. I live where it's no fault divorce, which means cheating makes no difference at all in how things play out. Everything just gets split right down the middle, whether or not your husband is a piece of crap who cheats on you with your best friend, and whether or not you write on Reddit that your piece of crap ex did that, as long as it's true. Not that I'm bitter. Okay, I might be bitter, but my therapist said it's good to express my anger. Well, yeah, because I would have a lot of it right now. Next question, are you expecting to get everything in the divorce? No, the law is the law, plus there's nothing to get except some family keepsakes, which I took with me. It was my mom's jewelry I got after she passed this year. It wasn't worth much, but my lawyer said there's an inheritance provision or something under the law. Otherwise, we just add up the value of everything right down to our socks and we split it 50-50. In marriages where one spouse makes a lot more money than the other, things like alimony and support come up, as well as child support if there are kids. So my situation is thankfully simple. We don't have much anyways, so basically we are leaving each other even with some emotional baggage. That's also annoying though, because aren't you the only one working? That is divorce and I have seen it. Yes. If you're new here, and if you're not, you know I've talked about my parents being divorced, and then my mom and stepdad were together for 28 years, maybe more than that, and they got divorced. A lot of divorce. I've seen a lot of divorce. They do say the person you divorce is not the person you marry. Sometimes. Every situation's different. Next comment, why don't you get a better job? $12 an hour where I live is better than minimum wage, believe it or not. I will have news, I think, about the job thing. One thing I learned from some of the messages from random Redditors is managers want to hire hardworking people. I have the confidence to apply to other jobs now, but I'm not accepting any offers from Redditors because of that privacy thing. Also, during COVID, that was such a hard time for people to find work. So many businesses were shut down. Ugh, what a year. Next comment, what is the deal with your boss? I thought my boss was a terrible human being. It turns out he is a decent human being and he helped me through this, which I put in my edit in my original post. He also agreed to be a reference for me for the new job thing, but is trying to get me to stay on because I work hard. I was happy to hear that boss helped her out a little bit, you know? Next question, do you talk to your best friend anymore? No way, not since that night and not ever. I blocked her and refused to talk to her. She showed up at my place and I ignored her apology. I have no time for her BS or backstabbing. She lost our friend group too. Once they found out, I got so many stories from them of her backstabbing them over the years. This was all news to me, but let's just say we each had stories that show her to be untrustworthy. I still think about her and I wish things could be different, but she broke my trust in every way. That can never be fixed. So she and my husband still talk and they are fully in a relationship. They have each other just like they wanted. There is no way. How do you possibly come back from that as a friend? No. Next question, did you kick your husband out? No, I moved back home with my dad about a week or so after my first post. My mom passed earlier this year and he has been hurting from that. It just made sense and honestly, it's nice to be home. My mom was really a perfect human. She was the kind of mom everyone wants and she passed suddenly this year from a brain aneurysm. You have had such a year. I just want to give 2020 you a hug. She is the person I would have wanted to help me through this. My dad isn't my mom, but I'm learning that he was kind of the silent partner who 100% was the same as her in terms of being supportive. So while I never expected to be living in my childhood bedroom at 30, it's actually kind of exactly the perfect place for me to be. Plus, my dad makes great baked chicken and always has ice cream in the freezer. For all the moving out parts, my friends came over and my dad did too, and we all moved out my stuff all at once. A lot of Redditors reached out about the unspoken dangers of ending a relationship and the ex getting violent when they feel like they are being abandoned. My husband is a crappy human for a bunch of reasons, but he never got physically violent with me. But I decided that being safe was important, so I called in the favors from my friends. It went fine and my husband ended up leaving during the move to just make things easier on everyone. Well, thanks for being so kind. Would have been kinder had you not, slept with my best friend and imploded our entire marriage and life. But, thanks for stepping out of the way on moving day. That was sassy. Oops. Next question. Why did you call yourself an idiot and make things your fault? That's what I'm wondering. Because I'm stupid. I think it's just what I always do. I own up to things even when they aren't my fault. Well, you need to work on that, girlfriend. Know your worth. Next comment, are you in therapy? Yes, a lot of you reached out and suggested it. Since this is anonymous, I will be super honest here. Between losing my marriage and best friend and mom and working insane hours, I had a breakdown. There's no other way to put it. I was in crisis and I probably still am. I'm still not eating great and I'm still making a lot of mistakes in how I talk to myself by calling myself an idiot or stupid. I get nightmares about my mom that wake me up and then I can't get back to sleep. I cry for no reason. Sometimes I cry until I throw up. My sleep has been awful when I do sleep. Sometimes I feel angry and I don't even know what to do with that because it's just so much anger. Sometimes I forget my mom is dead and I try to ask her questions and that turns me into a puddle when I remember that I can't. My heart breaks for you. Sometimes I'm about to text my best friend and then I get really angry that I can't because she's not even my friend at all. I miss sleeping beside my husband and having that feeling of warmth in the bed. There aren't any good days yet and I seem to always have a headache. Life is just kind of hard these days and I can't fix how I feel no matter how much I try. I found out that therapy with the insurance through work is paid for up until a certain amount. My therapist says that after the work benefits run out, she will still help me by reducing her rates if I want. It is nice being able to talk to someone who can see the big picture and explain the brain science of why I'm a crying mess and why I feel so awful. I honestly don't know if I'm going to get better or if therapy will be some kind of magical fix, but I am trying it. I don't leave a session feeling like anything has been fixed, but I do leave feeling that I'm normal to be feeling all of these things, which really does help in a weird way. It's only been 3 sessions, but I do have homework now, which my therapist says will help me learn new patterns. It might be BS and it feels weird to try, but it's a step, I guess. I don't really know. I think you're in the right place. I really do. Next question, will you trust and date anyone else ever again? OP said eventually. Definitely not now. My husband is the only guy I ever dated. He's all I know. I actually never wanted anyone else but him, and now that I don't want him, I don't want anyone. I'm sure that in time I will be ready, and when I am, I will take things slow. Yes, now I feel like you got a brand new chapter ahead of you, girl. Your 30s are just beginning. You're in therapy. You're gonna heal from this. I feel like you could heal from your mom and grieving, and you're just gonna be a brand new person, and new things will come into your life. New people, new friends. Oh, I really do. I wish we had like a new update from 2026. Like, girl, tell me where you're at. Give me the good news of what's happened over the last 5 years. I'm rooting for her. Let me know all of your thoughts and feelings on this, you guys. I will see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.